It's the Luke and Pete Show. My name is Pete Donaldson. The date is the 8th of January 2026, and I'm joined by Mr. Lukey Moore. Lukey Moore, how the devil are you doing?
Come on, Peter, give me a piece of your love.
Whoa. What's that? Come on, Peter, give me a piece of your love. Not the Peter bit, obviously. I presume that wasn't part of the song. That would be confusing.
I think, come on, girl, give me a piece of your love. I feel like it's a 90s... Remember that 90s kind of pop reggae vibe that went on?
Okay, give me some reggae. Well, like UB40 kind of thing.
That's Axl Rose doing Knocking on Heaven's Door, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've actually witnessed that in person.
Good. You've witnessed Axl Rose.
You've not lived as a music fan until you've been to see Guns N' Roses when it's just Axl and all his mates. Come on stage at like 10:45 p.m. and then do a really long version of Knocking on Heaven's Door where Axl screams, "Give me some reggae!" halfway through.
Pre-Night Tube?
Oh, mate, when I saw him at Hammersmith Apollo, he's basically doing a cod reggae accent for most of the show, from what I remember, in between songs. I don't know why. And by the time they came on stage, the crowd was shouting, "Fuck off, Axl! Fuck off, Axl!"
Yeah. Do you not think that
loads of people left about a song in because of the tube and stuff? It was definitely pre-night tube. It was like 15 years ago.
Yeah. Do you not think that they will forget about Knock on Heaven's Door? They'll be knocking on the old the time in which the Hammersmith Palais or whatever, the Hammersmith Apollo has to stop playing music, presumably. So you get a shot at set. No, it's not as catchy. You're quite right. You're quite right.
No, I suppose you're automatically your mind is going straight to what's the licensing issue here?
What's the licensing issue?
What's the PRS license?
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't think Axl cares about that.
No, good point.
Why would he?
How have you been, Luke?
I'm good.
From reminiscing about Guns N' Roses in the past.
Well, listen, Chateau Marmont, as the house is known, is on the market.
Right.
So we're going to try and move house. And as a result, it turns out that a lot of jobs that I'm ill-suited for need to be done almost immediately. Yeah.
You ran over to B&Q.
Yeah, I was a fish up a tree, mate.
Fish up a tree. But you were picking up some paint for some jobs, and and my point is that if I come and view a house and I'm not stupid like me and I'm clever like not me or the person I want to be I would smell the fresh paint and go, what's going on there? Can I smell polyfiller? Can I smell some paint there? What's going on?
I mean, to me, it's they're trying to sell the house. They've given it a lick of paint. Good on them.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, good point.
It's not like all of a sudden, this paint must be hiding a multitude of sins. It's a couple of things that need to be touched up. It's an old house. These things happen.
There's on the stairwell from the first floor to the loft bit, there is a lot of you can see it in the sunshine where they've sort of patched up, they've done some polyfiller in and they've painted over some scratches, except they're not scratches, they are nails, where they nailed up what I can only describe as the dad of the house, the one who had the affair, etc., his Paul Weller photograph collection. So every time I walk down the stairs, I think of Paul Weller.
Well, because you got that house because there was a divorce.
Well, no. I mean, I'm pretty much, That's why certainly I've got a cabin in at the end of the garden. But he used to have like a shrine to Paul Weller and the Jam, all the way up the stairs. And it's not something I think about a lot. But every time the light catches the patch up paint that someone's done, I do think of Paul Weller and his shitty haircut.
Well, you remember the Paul Weller shrine from when you came to look at the place?
Exactly. Yeah.
They left the Paul Weller shrine up, did they?
They did. Yeah. Sarah said Sarah tried to curry favour with them by saying that she'd interviewed him, which we both had. I didn't mention my interview. To be quite
you
frank,
interviewed Paul Weller famously for the honour, not the glory.
Sarah will be listening to this, and I am better than that. And she knows that. I've said that. And
you're better than that on that specific issue.
That very specific.
You're like an old veteran that stormed the beaches at Normandy. You only talk about it with fellow veterans
exactly.
of Paul Weller interviews.
So Sarah, she's right about everything else, but she will know that was a low point. But she reckons she got money off because she mentioned that she'd interviewed Paul Weller. I don't think she did.
I've got no beef with Sarah, and beyond that, I even find myself instinctively Team Sarah on these debates.
Yeah.
But I think that is doubtful.
Right, yeah. I mean, it certainly didn't make a sewage access point extension insurance snafu any easier later on. I thought that might have kind of greased the wheels of negotiation, but we've got the house.
Come on, guys, let's just go in the wild wood together. And I'm only buying this house because I didn't get one on Stanley Road.
This insurance does something to me. This build-over insurance.
Since I've looked around this house, I'm a changing man.
I'll tell you what, I'd love there to be a problem with the sewer. I'd love them to take up the floorboards in the kitchen. As long as they put them back properly, that's what I want. That's what I want. Awful.
I see what you mean. So you could kind of engineer some work being done on someone else's dam, baby.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna flush wet wipe after wet wipe down the toilet. See what happens.
So it can take no more.
Exactly.
Someone was I went on a deep dive the other day about how
not in the sewer.
No, metaphorical.
Right. Okay.
How to do this, that, and the other around houses when you're selling one.
Right.
And for some reason I got into a Reddit thread about houses, and it was a plumbing. I guess it's like a plumbing subreddit or whatever.
Everyone's got a fucking opinion, though, haven't they? Oh my God.
But this one guy was going on a real big, passionate rant about how he can always tell if people have been pissing in the sink because
Why?
the U-bend isn't suited for a certain type of uric acid or something.
Right.
It causes a very rapid build-up.
Of what? Of what? Surely the uric acid will clean
I guess
it
some
out.
kind of acid that's in the urine.
Right. Okay.
And so he said, it was basically saying that if I have to go to a house and change a U-bend on the sink, I can tell if it's because someone's been pissing in it.
Right. How many times can you piss? You'd have to piss. So this is not just pissing in it once.
I guess some people just piss in the sink, do they?
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to exclusively piss in the sink for that to be the case. Surely.
I think some people might do that.
I think he's a pervert.
Potentially, particularly in the north of England.
There was I remember at university, some people had sinks in their room. Now, if he would have had a field day with that, uric acid.
I had a sink in my room at university in halls.
And how many times did you?
It's not my vibe. It's not my thing.
I don't believe that for a second.
It's not my thing.
Hey, Grok, delete the liar. Oh no, I'm trying to turn you down, but I can't. Shit.
I saw someone describe. I gotta get this right. Someone described Twitter as a what do they call it? Former social media and now AI revenge porn app or something like that. It's now just become an absolute. I mean, it's sunk to even more depths than we all thought possible.
Yeah, and had a great time to do it as well. It's had a great time when the world's on fire, even more on fire than we thought it was last week. It's even better to be doing it now.
It gets worse and worse, doesn't it? By the way, on the sink pissing thing, I've got a quick anecdote that I remember when I was once at Fulham watching Fulham versus Manchester City, and before the game, I was in the pub. I don't want to name check the pub because I can't quite remember. I don't want to besmirch their reputation because it's a nice pub. Is it the Crabtree? It might be the Crabtree.
Right,
on the
okay.
river. Lovely pub. Doesn't deserve what happened to it in this story.
Right.
And because there was a load of football fans around before the game, there was a big queue for the gents, right? So I'm in the queue for the gents behind a bloke and about an 8 or 9 year old boy in his Fulham kit.
Okay.
And around about a load of Man City fans. And I'm going to assume this chap was a Man City fan by his accent. So I hope that's not too unfair on the good community of Manchester City fans generally, but this guy I think was a Man City fan. And he was pissing in the sink in the toilet because he didn't want to wait.
Yeah.
And this bloke, Fulham fan, dad, just said to the guy quite politely, "Do you mind not doing that? Because my son's my son's here. It's not setting a great example there. We've got to wait for the toilet, blah blah blah." And the Man City fan did his flies up, looked around, and just went, "Fucking hell, you're in London now, don't you?"
I think that's
assuming
that's the best you're going to get. That is the best you're going to get.
Yeah, but he's basically implying that that's just a regular thing in Manchester, pissing in the sink, and I don't think it is because Manchester's a great city. And I think people are better than that.
No, I don't believe that either. In the words of Angel Di Maria's wife, I want to kill myself because it's what did you say?
Night time at 2 p.m.
It's night time at 2 p.m. It's back to the whole Coleman's mustard. It's back to the whole Coleman's mustard eaten by Americans kind of little bit of British pride. When someone has a real go at the weather, I go yes.
Suck it up.
Proud, never prouder.
My mate who was around earlier, he was saying to me on the damp thing, he was saying that he works in property, and he was saying it's crazy how much damp there is in houses all over London.
Yeah,
because the housing stock is quite old. Right, people didn't run showers for that long. The heating wasn't really a thing, and it's just condensation all the time. He said he got to the point now when he works on a house or whatever, he just tiles the whole fucking thing. Don't paint any wall in the bathroom, he said.
Yeah, just always tile it, yeah.
Because it's just not, they're just not built. These older houses not built for that shit.
No, completely agree. And I would sort of, the thing that gets me is that there's no, certainly in my, both bathrooms don't have any, the little extractor fans aren't connected to anything. They're just cavity walls. And you're like, what are you doing? You're just going to be wetting, moistening the joist. I don't even know who I asked to get that fixed. That's beyond me. I've looked at like where I can get that out, but it just seems absolutely impossible. It seems absolutely mad, doesn't it? Absolutely crazy.
People, the thing is, you get box jobs, don't you? I told you this a million times before. Regular listeners to this show will be familiar. Like, the amount of box jobs in this house when I moved in, it's just crazy. Our toilet was propped up on 2 pairs of wire clippers and then just fucking corked around.
Yeah, completely.
I was like, this feels weird. This toilet feels weird when you're sitting on it. Just pulled it out. Fucking 2 pairs of wire clippers just to even it up. Insane. But first and foremost, if you're a rational actor in that situation, you don't want to give up 2 pairs of wire clippers.
No. I mean, a rational actor? Are there any in that particular situation, though?
I'm saying they're not a rational actor, are they? Because if they were, they wouldn't have dreamt of leaving that stuff there, would they?
That makes a very, very good point.
By the way, speaking of the weather, did you have you heard this story about George Orwell? I read it earlier. It's stuck in my mind to talk to you about today. George Orwell, who's apparently known as being a very down-to-earth, kind of modest chap,
fella,
had a very endearing habit apparently on a cold day in London. Have you heard that? Have you heard the story?
No.
So apparently he would get up in the morning and on a cold winter's morning or whatever, and in preparation for his walk to work, he would boil 2 eggs, hard-boiled eggs, right?
Right. Let me guess. He put them in his pocket for warmth.
Yep. And used to use them as hand warmers
to
work. And then he'd snaffle them for his breakfast or his lunch or whatever when he got there.
That's a great idea. And much better than my plan. Twin dog poos in each pocket.
In a bag, presumably.
Yeah, in a bag.
Do you use those as a little hand warmer, do you?
No, on a cold day, it's a little secret hand warmer for us dog walkers.
On a cold day, you get the warmth where you can.
Exactly.
I love the idea of that. You being stuck in some kind of survival situation. Guys, what I'm thinking to preserve warmth here, we all huddle together? Nah, dog shit.
Exactly.
Dog shit.
Let's
make ourselves look like Arnold Schwarzenegger at the end of Predator.
in my repeated waking up at 5 a.m. Worrying about things as diverse as NATO and where I would get my asthma meds in the event of some kind of terrible war. Italy turns out the asthma inhalers come from. So that's
do they?
That's slightly more positive news, I would say. But
trust the Italians in a war situation, mate. You're out of your mind. Out of your mind. It's the worst case scenario.
I know, right? Oh God, I genuinely am sort of thinking.
They'll sell you some aspirin inhalers one week. The next week, they'll be selling them to the other side. Apologies to all Italian listeners to this show. It's just a little bit of banter.
They know it's a bit of fun, probably, possibly. Might buy some big tins.
Do you honestly get anxiety about world events? I understand a lot of people do.
Well, it's nice to mix it up, really, I suppose. Sometimes it's my own events, sometimes it's my family events, sometimes it's world events, but mainly, I mean, the last few days have been trying for anyone who exclusively watches liberal political YouTube and listens to the podcast and stuff. It's
is it not a solution just to not bother?
You know what's going on though, innit? It's quite it's quite an interesting little TV show, and I think one person knows that, and that's why he's doing it.
I suppose if you've got termites in your house, you probably want to know where they are.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't tend to get anxiety about that kind of stuff. I get anxiety about other stuff, but not about.
But you don't. You say you don't get like job security, NATO. You don't seem to sort of worry about that sort of stuff. No. And I'm like, I'd love a bit. I'd love to be able to sort of treat that as
my anxieties are far closer to home. If I got some kind of debilitating illness, will my son go to sleep past 4:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
Does my wife?
But he will.
What does my wife hate me for at the moment?
It's all those. Yeah, but all of those things could be solved. You know, it will be solved and revealed.
My wife's American. If anything, I should be blaming her.
Exactly. You've got. Will you be imprisoned, Luke?
It's possible, isn't it? I've got a good friend of mine who's very active in politics in the US, and he's not of American descent. Of course, most Americans aren't of American descent, but you know what I mean. He's very obviously not of American descent, and although he was born in the US, and I obviously send him the old. But the thing is, you've got to remember that as a broad rule, British people and American people deal with crises very differently, right? So we tend to inject humour into proceedings. They don't as readily do that.
Yeah,
and obviously when you've got the added lack of nuance and context and tone with WhatsApp, I occasionally send stuff to him.
Yeah,
like I think I sent one to him the other day, which was
I already know I'm going to say the sentence. How have you still got friends?
Know. Well, maybe he doesn't consider us friends.
You have a ruthless aggression approach to WhatsApp.
It's not meant to be aggressive. It's meant to be fun.
Right.
He even sent me a message saying, because he sent me a message saying he was watching Master and Commander on a flight, and he said, there's a load of references to Portsmouth, and I thought of you. And I was like, all right, mate, yeah, nice one, Happy New Year. And he said, I'm going over to the UK soon, so let's catch up. And I was like, oh yeah, let me know when you're over, and we'll definitely hang out. If you haven't been sent to a colony in Venezuela by then, lol. Right,
yeah, okay.
That was...
sounds like that didn't go well. Right.
4 days
no
ago.
Reply?
I'm on red. I've been left on red. So
I don't think you're going to have that pint. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I think there's a number of different eventualities may have come to pass. One is he has been renditioned to Venezuela.
It's a good point, actually, yeah. When's his last scene?
He's a bit busy. And three, he's taken offence to it. But he doesn't know me, so I won't imagine he'd take offence to it.
He does know you, right? Okay, that's fair. Yeah,
but it's fair. It's a fair comment by you to say that. Why the fuck is he still friends with me?
What we need is a picture of you in those blinkers that Maduro had on and a Nike sports jacket.
My favourite meme of that was just him there with his blinkers on, his blindfold, his headphones, and ear defenders, and just holding up a West Ham shirt.
I mean, I tell you what, it's kind of backfired a little bit. Because he does look a bit cool.
My mate said to me,
he's a big old lad, and he's bigger than a lot of the Marines that are sort of dragging him in. And you're like, he looks pretty fucking cool.
My mate said to me the other day, he said he watched as much as he could of the court appearance, right, and said he came away thinking, Maduro seems like a great dude, and I'd love to have him on the grill at my barbecue. He said he seems so obviously he's an awful man, and he's caused untold suffering to Venezuelans. Like, I understand that. I know I'm being frivolous, but he has got a very avuncular nature about him.
But it's that kind of like charisma that a dictator, tin pot at that you wish for the Americans over Trump. Do you know what I mean? Like, you sort of go, you shouldn't have to put up with this. This guy should be a passionate person who can sort of, speak for more than 3 minutes on one subject and not run out of things to say and not weave in and out of subjects. Luke and Pete Show. You do deserve a better podcast. That's the title. You do sort of look at people like that and you go, well, look, he's a better class of dictator than the leader of the free world, so to speak.
This is a stretch from you. Even for you, this is big. This is you run out of steam. Your heart wasn't that towards the end, was it? You kind of just trailed off.
I've been up at 5 a.m. worrying about Iceland, haven't I? Not Iceland, fucking hell, Greenland. Worrying about Iceland now.
Mr. Trump, Mr. President, We didn't go and get that territory. That's the good news.
He won't know the fucking difference.
Very little resistance. The bad news is it's erupting.
Yeah.
Mad.
What a shame.
Absolutely mad.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen? Honestly, you can't take your eyes off it for a second.
Who knows how big, because the projections and stuff, who knows what's bigger, Greenland and Iceland? It is Greenland. It is Greenland.
The maps make it look massive.
Yeah. It's about like a couple of times the size of Texas or something. It's not that big. It looks like Africa, the size of Africa.
That's because of the stretch.
Because of the stretch.
Yeah.
But it's quite clearly not, and it's quite clearly not. But you do want someone to get in Trump's ear and go, mate, it's not that big.
You do realise it's not actually that big.
It looks big, but it's not that big.
And it's not green.
It's not green. It's fucking white, mate. It's as
white
as it's just a big lump of ice, bud.
It's really white. It's probably why he wants it. Definitely why Stephen Miller wants it.
Yeah.
All right, let's have a break. When we come back, we've got a battery entry.
All right, then.
There were some people out there, by the way, Peter, who were saying in 2026 it couldn't still be done, this battery stuff. It can, and it will be done
and it will.
after this.
Good. We're back with the Luke and Pete Show. Let's talk batteries, Daddy. Philip Riley has got in touch. Hi, boys. Let's get the battery daddy going again. Come on.
Where's the battery robot? I haven't said Happy New Year to the battery robot yet.
No, not that. Jesus Christ. No.
Both apt.
Hello.
Hey.
Happy New Year, everyone.
BR, how's it going?
I'm fine.
What do you do for New Year?
I travelled to Las Vegas for the Consumer Electronics Show.
Oh, yeah? Did you pull?
Loads of robot puss.
Battery robot.
Come on.
Honestly.
It's a family show, battery robot.
It's a family show, battery robot. Honestly.
Goodness sake.
God.
Right. Anyway,
terrible.
what are we feeding him today? What's going on?
We're feeding him some. I feel like this. I feel like these have been seen before repeatedly. But Philip, thank you for your email. Gadsel, Langer Lebensdauer. I don't know what that means.
What the hell?
Langer Lebensdauer, Gadsel.
Gadsel. All right, Philip. Thank you for sending these in. You are the second person to send them in.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you sent them in basically on Christmas. So you're obviously bored already from the time off. Yeah. But we first saw these back in June. We've only had them twice. And the first time was June of last year. So you're not far off the mark, but you're not a new player, I'm afraid, Philip. But thank you very much for sending in those Gad cells. They're a rare beast, but they ain't unique.
That's a stronger entry than I realised. I thought
you thought it'd be full of them.
I thought it'd be full of Gad cells. I thought our inbox would be bursting with the old Gad cells. So well done, Philip. You've done very well there.
I read not to digress too wildly or to change lanes too quickly, but I read an amazing thing the other day. Have you heard this story about Terry Pratchett moving publishers? You know Terry Pratchett?
Right.
You must have been a Terry Pratchett man back in the day.
I was, yeah. Diggers and Truckers and the old Discworld franchise. Great stuff. Love that.
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah.
I loved it as well. I actually introduced my the wife I have access to Terry Pratchett. She really likes him as well.
Yeah, really fun.
So basically, right, I read this amazing thing about Terry Pratchett and his publisher, right? That back in the day, I can't remember exactly what year it was. I'm just trying to look it up now to confirm. Apparently, it was in the early 90s, right? Terry Pratchett was big and doing all this stuff as he had been for years at this point. And he was being published, I think pretty sure all over the world, right? And his German publisher, but basically Terry Pratchett's manager got in touch with Terry Pratchett and said, look, we need to make you aware of something. And, I like it, but I just want to let you know it's happening. And it turned out his German publisher is a company called Hayne, I think it's pronounced, Heyne, had started inserting adverts into the text of his books.
Right. So let me unpack this. He had a publisher called Hayne, and they started putting adverts for what?
So I'll tell you. Terry Pratchett said when he was asked about this, why he moved publishers from Hayne to a company called Goldman in the early 90s. He said there are a number of reasons for switching to Goldman. But a deeply personal one for me was the way Hayne, in my book Sorcery, and may have been other books as well, had inserted an advert for soup in the text. He said, there are a few of my lines, I can't remember which, and then it went into something like, around about now, our heroes must be pretty hungry, and what better than a nourishing bowl of soup?
Dude, who's paying for that? Who's with soup? How has soup got enough money to do that?
And when he and his editor approached the publishing company about this, they refused to promise not to do it again.
What a relationship! What a relationship! What a publisher! Wow,
isn't that amazing?
It's like that fucking Black Mirror episode where she has that brain problem. And she gets the cheap version of the brain operation so that she.
She keeps seeing adverts in her head.
She keeps in normal conversation. I think she needs a brain operation or something. She has a brain operation, but because they can't afford the licensing plan every month, the payment, she goes down to like a level where she keeps advertising stuff in normal conversation. That's
brilliant.
She's just in like a classroom and she's just sort of going, well, if you'd like to try this.
I haven't seen that. That's a brilliant idea for
a show.
But
it sounds very much like that. Well, that's amazing. I just don't think you could negotiate a deal like that. And you should be at least telling the people who have written the books and also presumably passing on some of that money to them.
It's wild. It's absolutely insane. God. I mean, I'm surprised that Pratchett is so sanguine. I mean, obviously, by all accounts, he's a pretty good dude, but surprised he's so sanguine about it.
Yeah, and pretty minted.
You'd be suing, wouldn't you, if that was you?
Yeah, massively. That was not part of the deal. Maybe it was in the small print.
Would you still sue even if it was your favourite soup?
Oh, what do you mean? They're sort of going, well, that is kind of something I'd write.
Yeah, that does sound like me.
That does sound like me. Did I write that? Maybe I did. Oh,
yeah. Imagine that. You realise you actually did write it. Fuck, it's embarrassing.
I was on a lot of soup those days. I was off my head on soup.
Yeah. I remember it was a really cold winter. I was getting really into soup. Yeah. Amazing.
Pissing in the sink.
No.
What?
We don't want to encourage that, Peter.
I think soup over sink is quite a good place to eat your soup as well, one would say.
Well, I remember there being a big debate online ages ago when the internet was a lot more quaint.
Soupy. Right.
About whether it was acceptable to put like leftovers or kind of scraps of your meal down the toilet.
I do that sometimes. Was there ever a decision made there?
I can't remember.
Right.
But it seems a bit weird, but at the same time, you put much worse down the toilet, don't you? So I don't really know what's a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, they sort of say, what was the thing that they were sort of whinging about? You couldn't put down whinging about Baileys. Can't put Baileys down the sink.
Well, because it's got too much fat in it, probably.
Baileys down the sink because it's got too much fat in it.
But I was quite diligent. If I'm like cooking bacon in a pan or something, I'll leave the pan on the side, wait for it to dry, and I'll soak it up with a kitchen roll or whatever, and then
mop it up.
Yeah, I don't put it down
with
the sink.
some bread.
Poor form.
Dip it in the bread.
I've been to Chinatown. I've seen Rick Edwards' Fatberg program.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Well, they pulled out a big fatberg out of the sewer in my in front of my house in Old Compton Street one time. It was absolutely massive.
How big are we talking?
Well, I mean, it had to come out of like a pretty seriously large drain, like, sort of flap, I suppose. But they lifted it up, and yeah, I remember sort of taking pictures of it at like 1 o'clock in the morning. They were removing this massive fatberg.
Did you depress yourself when you caught yourself doing it?
I mean, it stank. It absolutely stank the whole place out for ages. Really.
How big was it? Just give me a comparison.
Well, I don't know. They had to chop it up, I think, with an air pressure, and then they pulled out chunks of it. So it was all in like different chunks. But it was roughly the size of Iceland in the street.
Senator Trump.
The Trump. Have that. It's got
loads
of natural resources.
Mr. President, this is a strategically important fatberg for your sphere of influence. I suggest you purchase it immediately.
Get in it. Rub it in your face, you tramp.
I saw some government official, by the way, going back to that, saying, why don't we just give Denmark $2 trillion for Greenland, and they can clear their national debt and do this and do that. And then the Danish guy just replied and saying, we haven't got any national debt, you dweeb.
Yes.
Proper back of the fag packet stuff.
Yeah.
Isn't
Big.
Someone was. I remember listening to a podcast episode the other day where someone was saying that they've just got no idea what they're doing one step after they do it. So like, they've got absolutely no clue about what's happening in Venezuela now.
Apparently Venezuela's already like even worse than it was before. Like they've got but it's like, at least with Iraq, you kind of knew that there was some sort of plan for, I mean, it all went to shit, obviously. It all went to shit, but it took a bit longer. You kind of hope that this will just really blow up in his face.
No, but he's forgotten about Venezuela by now, probably.
Yeah,
it's probably don't move on to the next thing. Next thing's
Greenland.
Greenland.
Next time the old Epstein list comes up, he'll be sniffing around Cuba and Mexico and probably Greenland. But like, I think I texted it on WhatsApp. Like, Marco Rubio will probably run for president. It's an interesting move for him to be balls deep in Venezuela and then presumably Cuba next, because that was his big pet project.
He's not going to be president, though, is he?
I know he's not going to be president, but it's an interesting thing to sort of hang your hat on, isn't it? He'll be the one who's trying to sell that as a good move when it's all because of the general lack of clarity and forward planning. They can't seem to get anything. They're all about the headlines, and then after that, they don't really care what happens, really.
I opened a news app earlier and just screenshotted it and sent it to a couple of mates saying, imagine opening a news app 5 years ago and reading this. The two headlines at the top of the news app were US attempting to seize Venezuela-linked tanker in European waters.
Yeah.
And then the next one was France and allies discuss response to possible US invasion of Greenland. It's like...
The thing, I mean... there aren't that many sort of levers we can pull, but everything he does seems to affect us rather directly. We can't fight in fucking Ukraine. We can't tell the Ukrainians to sort of go, you guys keep fighting. You guys keep fighting, and then just hand over Greenland to fucking the US. Like, I don't know what. This is what I was thinking about at fucking 5 a.m. Like, what? Where am I going to get my asthma meds? Do I need to buy bottles of water?
What about if you and I, just you and I, invade Greenland first? Like now.
Right. I wanted to go to Greenland because it seems to be a place where just oil people just get pissed. Just a lot of drinking going on there.
Go to Aberdeen.
Proper heavy drink. It's like Aberdeen of the of up there, really. Yeah.
And so you didn't end up going in the end.
No direct.
How'd you get there?
I don't know. I remember it wasn't a direct flight anyway, so I wasn't
probably
gonna
would have been via Copenhagen or something to Nook, wouldn't it?
Wasn't going to get back from my Absolute Radio show on a Sunday.
Didn't normally stop me, did it?
Didn't normally stop me. Never missed one. I think I was more likely to miss one with the national train system than Ryanair, and that is saying something. That is saying something.
Yeah. There's only about I think there's only about 30,000 people living in Greenland.
Oh, give them it then. Fine.
No, I'm just saying. Apparently it's 56,000. Are you saying Greenland or Greenland, by the way?
I don't know.
What do you think?
Greenland. I think I say both.
Yeah. Mix it up. Keep them guessing. All right, let's get out of here. Let's come back on Monday when the world's probably going to have ended. This will be an amazing Monday's episode, which we'll record in a minute. Will be an amazing souvenir kind of artifact of what the world was like before it
collapsed. So someone will have to do the last podcast.
Yeah.
Like the last post. Someone will have to do the last podcast and it'll probably be, I don't know, something about, it's probably like one of those kind of manosphere ones, talking about body cams and stuff.
Probably would be, yeah.
Oh.
Probably would.
Right.
I'll maybe we'll have to go
and
get that long wave radio out of the studio and use that. We are better than that, Peter.
Right, okay.
We are better. We don't listen.
By what margin?
Well, with the admittedly casual xenophobia against Italians I did earlier.
Yeah.
Aside, we're pretty respectful, aren't we? You can't listen, you can't mistreat Italians.
You simply can't. You simply can't. All right then.
See you on Monday.
We'll be back on Monday. See you later.